Welcome to Elevating the Culture, a podcast that explores the complex issues confronting Black men and the people who care about them.
So let's do it. Welcome to Elevating the Culture, the podcast that explores the complex issues confronting Black men and the people who care about them. We are back, and we are live, gentlemen. My name is Jude Clake. I'm here with my esteemed co-hosts, Malik Adams and Russell Brooks. What's good, gentlemen?
We here. We finally here. That's what's good.
I echo that statement. Long time coming, but we here.
All right, let's keep this on the rails. So yeah, this has been a long time coming. We started this when, Russell?
So that would have been earlier in 2024. Yeah.
We've recorded a number of different episodes, uploaded them to YouTube and to Spotify, but they've all been virtual.
Right.
This is our first get down together.
Mm-hmm.
Before we begin, let's give some thanks to Black Adam.
That's what's up.
Who is
Got to
providing-
shut up Black Adam.
Word up.
We'll give him some camera shine one of these days. We will.
Episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, if Malik don't get us canceled by then.
Oh no, I'm good.
That's a real possibility.
I'm very square by the rules.
So it's been a minute. I'm excited that we're back. Maybe because we are reintroducing ourselves, we can tell folks a little bit about who we are. We'll start at the far end, the Looney Tunes t-shirt.
So for the listeners out there, Russell Brooks, I'm a father, community-led person who, is really invested in the well-being and just the betterment of Black people, Black men, future generations. Do a lot of work around, policy, anti-Black racism, mental health and wellness. I'll keep it light, but yeah, I'm excited to be on this, platform with these gentlemen, and hopefully that we can, share something that is of value to any of the listeners that are out there.
Yes, bro.
Or
Malik Adams, father, husband, community guy. Community always keeps coming up in the work that we do, and even in our conversations. It's like that's like the centerpiece. So, 26-year educator, first 18 years teaching, last 7 or 8 years counseling, all in public school. Do some private work as well, but anything that really connects to community, no matter what the age, no matter where, and certainly echoing Russell's point, a new heightened focus on Black men. So wherever there's stuff going on that relates to us, I try to be there.
that's what's up. And I'm Jude Clake, going into my 26th year in corrections from Truro, Nova Scotia. Husband, father, grandfather, someone who loves his community, both locally and more globally. And much like Malik, I've gravitated into this space, and Russell also, around Black men and wellness. It's funny how we find ourselves here. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. And maybe we'll talk about why we're doing this.
Absolutely.
Why are we pursuing or exploring this podcast?
I'll jump in. So for me, it just kind of comes naturally and organically. Like, as y'all know, like when we're in these spaces, these are the conversations that we're having already, so there's not enough of us that are having these conversations. And I know that there's an appetite for other brothers to engage in these types of conversations and this type of dialogue. So any way that we can bring some of this to them and make it accessible for them, and, also, humanize ourselves in a way that might, make them a little more confident and comfortable to be able to engage in these conversations is a large part of why I'm doing this. Obviously getting to do it alongside the two of you as much as we go at each other. Got a lot of respect for the two of you and, your resumes, also the reputation that you both carry. So to be able to be on a platform with brothers like yourselves contributing to something this meaningful is a no-brainer.
Well, I don't go at anybody, so I don't really know. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Well, I guess that was kind of like shade.
We'll let the audience be the judge of that.
It was like a backhanded compliment. No, but for real, I echo that. We mentioned this a number of times in different ways, I think, on previous podcasts and just in different spaces we are that, and I've been thinking about this actually, really like the last, like intentionally, like the last several months, like the idea of, and Jude and Russell, you guys are both like key to this, like in terms of people I know, like how often do we talk about health from Black men's perspective? And the reason I think about that is because, okay, yes, we've been community for a long time. Yes, we have interests and we have different skills and abilities, and we just want to serve people in the best ways that we can. But one of the things I've been thinking about is like, yeah, how often do we really talk about health? Like I've often talked about education. I've often talked about community in a broad sense. We've talked about economics, right? Like we talk about finance, we talk about politics, we talk about everything, but I don't remember in a conscientious way talking about health. Like, how are you feeling, brother? Like, how are you, like those things. So the idea that we actually focus on that in whatever aspects that we do, to me is so important. And it's still, in certain regards, relatively new, right? So I'm always excited when we're doing things like this.
And there's a need. There's a need, and it's evidenced by the engagement that we are getting from Black men, right? We're creating spaces or being a part of groups that are creating spaces, and brothers are willingly entering into those spaces and actively participating. Right? They're really finding value in communing and exchanging with one another. That is a beautiful thing. And that to me it speaks to the need, the unique need for this podcast, which is, again, speaking about health in the broadest sense of the word and having some fun while we do it.
Yeah, man.
Right? That's what we do. So we've talked a little bit about what we do and what we want this podcast to look like, but let's get a sense of the work that's been taking place. So can you share some of the events, committees, initiatives that you're involved in as it relates to Black men?
Oh, you got to start, bro, because you're the king right now.
No, that's not facts. But so you both know. So I've been a part of the Black Men's Health Conference that they have provincially. We're looking on organizing, coordinating, and planning another one of those. So I've been able to be a part of that in the planning. I've also been able to do a workshop for one of the conferences as well, keynote for one of them. And then I've tried to kind of expand in other, ways of bringing men together, mobilizing men, and creating spaces that are inviting and welcoming and supportive of the brothers that come through the door, and really trying to meet men and brothers wherever they are. Wherever that is, we just want to meet you and greet you wherever that is and try to support you in whatever way we can. So with that said, we started strengthening Black fathers and father figures for, it's for anybody. And we really just want to try to create a sense of brotherhood, fellowship, community, and like I said, a space that is really supportive and reflects the uniqueness of the complexities that we got to navigate, and trying to find ways for us to engage in the topics and conversations of the things that we don't talk about enough. Right. So really just trying to normalize being able to prioritize us as a people, as a human being. It's okay to feel. It's okay to know that you're going through these things. You're not the only one. And there's people that will support you, uplift you, empower you. There's people that will pour into you and celebrate you and just love you.
Right.
And we've been able to do some really dope and amazing things with this initiative. It's growing. I appreciate the fact that both of y'all have been a part of it, and just supported and just even, just putting the word out there. But that's a little bit about what I do, trying to do in community and for the men and young men that are out there.
Awesome. And
there's a lot more.
Yeah.
He's just touching on it.
Yeah, he's just touching on it. But I'll say, and we talked about this a number of times, but strengthening Black fathers and father figures. Once I went once, I couldn't, I'm hooked. It was just, I'm like, this is exactly what I need. Brothers, different ages, people I know, people I don't know, talking about what we do and the way you have it set up, Russell. Sometimes you have a keynote, sometimes there's no keynote. But just brothers getting together, breaking bread. And Jude, to your point, like doing it in the ways that we do. We don't have to do it in any other way other than the ways that serve us as Black men. And I love it. So being a part of it, honor and a privilege, and I love it. And great brothers, all great, but great brothers coming through. But the idea of people sharing their stories. I mean, there's a lot of brothers that spoke. You know people, but you don't know people, right? And so people who are comfortable to be able to share part of their stories, I don't think there's any brother that I listened to who didn't have something that was new for me. It's like, man, I've known you 15, 20, 30 years, all my life. Didn't know that element, so I love it. Like I said, for me, public school teaching and most of pretty much all of my career has been at schools with significant Black population. So, and that's intentional for me. Like I couldn't be at a school that didn't have us there. So, continue to do that. Like I said, from a teaching aspect, and I was fortunate enough to teach courses like Black literature and African Canadian studies. And even if it weren't those courses, like to be able to just bring, trying to anyway, a wide range of Black perspectives in the class, right? No matter who I'm teaching, but especially for our kids. And then, transitioning over to counseling the last several years. And so really approaching it from somewhat of a different point of view than classroom teaching masses. Now you're responsible for programming, but also within programming, there's an element of the emotional part, the social emotional part, the psychological part, which is great. I'll say one of the things that I'm always excited about is being able to work in correctional facilities, right? So CSC, Correctional Services Canada, so working in federal institutions, working with some brothers, and the brothers are always, I say this all the time, they are always the best class that I'm ever a part of, right? And just going into some of the various institutions. And really before, when we were going in, it was under an educational umbrella. Like we're saying, we're coming in, we're going to talk about some Black history stuff, and we're going to talk about some community stuff. And now we've been intentional and conscious about transitioning to health, what we're talking about. Like, no, we coming in talking about health.
That's right.
And same thing, a lot of participation. Some brothers in the beginning are like, it's new to them, right? Because it's new to us. It's like, really, we're going to talk about health? Like, what are you talking about? Vitamins? Are you talking about what are we talking about? And it's like, yeah, we're talking about everything that deals with health. And so, but to be able to go in and, to your point earlier, Russell, the idea that, yes, brothers, like you are absolutely human. This is not a judgment thing. You have lives. You are connected to community. Your fathers, your husbands, your boyfriends, your nephews, your sons, your all of those things. And we're going to talk about what can help make you better, can help make you healthier, like what can fill you up. And then ultimately sharing that space for, 2+ hours just to do what we do. And it's a beautiful thing. So that's what really excites me. I can't wait to get back to do it again.
I can't overstate the impact that having brothers like you have on guys who are inside. And you've been doing this work now for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. It really has value. In terms of community development, again, I get a smile when I think about some of the things that I've had an opportunity to be involved in. We're coming up on 3 years of mindful conversations now, bi-weekly conversations with Black men virtually, with folks throughout the Maritimes.
I mean, even
dope.
beyond that too. Like, there's been some times where there's been some international brothers on there and stuff. So
Right.
it's far-reaching.
It's far-reaching. And we've created a bit of a community there, right? The folks who continue to show up find value in it. We're able to offer affirmation, brotherhood, support, direction through these informal conversations about subjects that matter and are relevant to us, right? There's been some wellness sessions through the Status of Women and Association of Black Social Workers provincially, which have provided funding to allow groups to create programming that's tailored to their communities. And within our community, we've focused on wellness. So we have seniors groups, or a seniors group that's been meeting now for 1.5 years, and they're actually going to Upper Hammonds Plains this morning. We have a men's group that meets throughout the winter, and we had an opportunity to organize some sessions for the women in our community also. So some really interesting things are happening in Truro, Nova Scotia around wellness. We've also begun the early work of upstanding a multi-purpose center. We're one of the few Black communities across the province that don't have a dedicated space. And so we've created an organization whose sole purpose is to create something that we can call our own.
Love it.
So some great things happening or that we're attached to. We have a Black Men's Summit that just took place. We're beginning to plan the next Black Men's Health Conference. We had a Black Men's Day Off where folks got together for Friday and Saturday in Debert, Nova Scotia. So again, thank you for the work that you're doing. And it's not just us. There are a host of other brothers who are knee deep in this meaningful work.
Absolutely. And can I just say something to, it's actually to both of you, to the mindful conversations, because I was thinking of that, but also even to the Black fathers and father figures. There's always brothers, at least this has been my observation, there's always brothers that come and be like, I would have never come to something like this before. I'm glad I came.
Right.
Happens on Mindful Conversations. Man, I didn't know what this was. I got the email and then we started talking, but this is really like my vibes. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. Like this is what it's supposed to be. Same at your meetings, Russell. Like, brothers, I didn't really know what this was going to be or what we were going to talk about, but like, yeah. And how many times have we heard, and I just told my wife that don't plan anything for me on Wednesdays because I'm going to be at, the Opus Cafe, and same thing for Mindful Conversations on Tuesday evening. So like, it's, again, I say that because I want to celebrate you guys, but also it speaks to, again, the need. It always just speaks to the need and what, if you put it out there, as they say, if you build it, people will come, and people are coming.
Right.
Like people are participating in it. The hardest, quote unquote, the hardest brothers, the most quiet brothers, you're getting every sort of walk of life come through these spaces. So I'm loving it, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's pivot, gentlemen, to the next segment. Rapid fire.
Oh, wow. We're going right in it.
Yeah, man. Afrocentric rapid fire, where we pose some questions to one another, and we're supposed to respond in a timely manner. Never, ever happens.
No.
But that's the goal.
No, Black people thing.
Mm-hmm.
Long-winded.
Mm-hmm. I got one.
Oh, here we go.
What do you mean, here we go?
Here we go.
Wouldn't see? Pusha T or No Malice?
Oh, I know what the context of this is off that last album.
What's up?
Oh, man.
I'm going to go Pusha T right out the gate.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have to explain that to me, brother.
That's just where, like, I vibrate with him more easily than Malice.
Me too, normally. But brother, did you listen to the album?
Oh, I absolutely
You
did. And the other thing for me, if I'm being honest, is that for me, Pusha T has a larger body of work because Malice did step away for a minute So Pusha T has, some solo projects that gives me more.
So let's bring a little bit more specificity to this then. On this album, are you taking Pusha T or Malice?
Malice came.
I'll back you right into a corner.
Malice came out, and
you
he's
understand where this is going. You have to answer a certain way.
He's definitely, and like
Just
so
bullying.
on this album, I would say they're very close. I was surprised by Malice, if I'm being honest. Like, he came out of somewheres that I didn't know he could come from. So whatever he's been doing to get his mind right, and spiritually and all that other good stuff that he's doing to take care of himself, he's really in tune and in touch with who he is, and he's just speaking truth.
Word.
See, I got to listen to that. I got the album, but here's my problem. I get stuff, and then I don't listen. See, this is one of the things I find with volume. So, back in the day, like when you would buy a CD and you would just play that CD, you just put it on loop, or an album if you want to go back to vinyl, or a tape or whatever. But now there's so much music out there. I get it and I download it, but then I download all kinds of things. So I'm going to have to go back and check that album. I don't know what your face is.
So you didn't listen to it, basically.
I listened to it, but I didn't listen to it enough as I should.
So what other albums were you listening to if you weren't listening to that one? I'm curious. Now I'm curious.
Listen, man, I'll listen to anything. I'm downloading Afro beats. I'm downloading reggae. I'm trying to think of, shoot, man, I like whatever's. It's free, bro. It's free. And let's really cut to the chase. I'm getting it for free. I'm a backdoor bootlegging guy. Sorry, people. But yeah, if I don't got to pay for it, I'm not. So that means I just got an infinite amount of music. So to answer your question, see, there's nothing rapid about this rapid fire. I'm defaulting to Pusha T just because more solo stuff. If I had to choose one, I would say, but I will listen to the album, and I'm going to focus on Malice, because basically he wants us to answer.
Well, it's an uninformed opinion, so. Next.
So you already kind of answered the question, is what we're taking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a setup. Everything's always a setup. There's
yeah.
always a hitch, and
There's an expected outcome.
There's always a thing. What you got, man?
So I'm going to kind of piggyback off of that, but just curious if y'all got a no skip album. Like, how there's albums and you just, there's certain songs but like, think of an album where it was like, I can listen to it from start to finish, no skips.
Oh, that's a nice one. Damn. No skip? No skip.
First thing that comes to my mind is Illmatic.
Yeah, see, I would say that, but I mean, One Time for Your Mind, I'm not really, and I love Nas, but I mean, I could skip over that one.
Mm-hmm.
He got 10 tracks. I could listen to 9, but if we're a literal no skip, shoot. All I'm hearing is just sighs, just straight sighs over here. So you can't, you ask a question, you answer it. It's a wrong. I didn't think there was a wrong answer, but apparently,
judgment's part of this podcast.
A deep part of it. No skip. Well, what's your no skip?
So actually, I have two. So the first Blueprint album, and then Nipsey's actual studio album was fire.
Okay.
The Marathon Continues. That joint is a no skip for me. Classic.
Okay. Okay. If I had to pick a no skip, I would shoot. I'm going back. By All Means Necessary, Boogie Down Productions. I'd always listen to that beginning to end. Like, there's nothing really. If I think of, there's really no track on that I would skip over. And you're sticking with Illmatic?
I can't think of anything else. Nothing else comes to mind.
You don't listen to a lot of.
I'm starting to think about R&B.
Yeah,
Don't start.
See, you're saying hip hop, but he has some no skips, but it's not in that genre. It's like.
Anyway, who's next?
Ballads. Me. So I'm coming back to what we did before in the virtuals. I'm coming back to underrated. I'm coming back to the underrated. So let's go seasonal. Pick an underrated thing about the summer. Everybody says summer's great and blah, blah, blah. Pick an underrated thing about summer.
An underrated thing about the summer.
Yeah. I stumped him. Yes.
Man, you ain't stumped me.
Well, you quiet.
Communing. That's an underrated part of the summer. We tend to socialize more. And that has so much importance, has so much value. Right? I think you were talking about a funeral, right? And the fact that it brings folks together, right? Forces us into the same spaces and affirms those relationships, right? We see people that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. So I would say one of the most underrated things about summer is that we get a chance to see each other more.
That's a great one. That's a great one. And I would agree.
No, absolutely. I'm gonna take an easy way out on this one because I just think about me as a parent, and I can justify spending money easily during the fall and winter, but there's things that you can do for free in the summer that provide like entertainment and value. So I appreciate that, and a lot of times we don't really think of it, but like you can just go to like a splash pad and different things like that when you have young kids, and it's free.
Right. This is, I came up, I never really thought about the answer, to be honest with you, but, well, no, I'm not.
You let that go?
I'm open. I'm not trying to paint people into corners or try to make people look fool. That's not me. That's not my character. That's not my character. That's not who I am. I would say this part, so obviously sunlight, that's not underrated because people talk about that all the time, but I like the energy of summer. Like it sounds corny, but when the sun's up after 5 or whatever it is and birds are chirping and like there seems to be more movement, but the energy seems to be better.
Oh yeah, people definitely got a little more pep.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Like, and earlier too, like, and it doesn't feel daunting to me. Like winter sometimes feels daunting, just, shorter days and dark and whatever, but it just seems like it's, that may not be underrated, but I like the energy in the morning and the energy in the evening, in the summer. I think that's like, obviously during the day, people are out and about, eating out, doing their thing, sitting on patios, whatever it is. But yeah, for me, that's underrated for me. And I definitely, when fall starts to hit, I definitely start to miss it. I told you before it started, I'm a better person in the summer. I'm not my best self in cold, and people have seen it. People have seen my bad side. Like in the wintertime, it's not great.
We might have an episode about that.
Raw uncut.
All right, I got another one for us. What's something that you've always wanted to do, but it may have not had the resources, the time, the opportunity, or courage?
What you got, Russ? I'm looking right at you.
So, I mean, if I put some more thought into it, I'd probably come at it with something different. But like, I've always wanted to try to like go on one of these like backpacking type trips. You know what I mean?
Nice one.
Into another country and just like really like figure it out while you're out there. Most times when we travel, we plan everything like to the T. Each day, you know where you're staying, the things that you're gonna do. But like, I've seen a lot of people, and it's usually like young university students and stuff like that, where they're like, I'm just backpacking through Europe or France or,
right.
And like to be able to do something like that in like Africa or somewhere in Africa or something like that to me would be amazing. But like to be able to go and do that for like a month or whatever it is that most times people spend there, hasn't been something that's been feasible for me. But like, I think that would be truly amazing to just unlock for like that long and just figure it out day by day.
Nice one.
That's dope.
I just want to make a point. He said in like Europe or France. France is in Europe. Just
thank you.
Okay. Well,
Geography lesson. France or France.
I thought he wasn't trying to embarrass people and stuff. That didn't take long.
Oh no, that's just I'm an educator.
And don't edit that out.
So,
leave that in there.
Yep. So people, you see it, right? I'm coming from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that, in all seriousness, that was a great one. Here's my one, and it's part of it's based on regret. Learning a new language. So as a kid, I started out in French immersion. The first 9 years of my schooling was French immersion. So from primary to 8. And then through different reasons, it was less about the language and just more about, I just moved on from, and nothing to the people who were out there, but I just moved on from the people who were in my class, like you together with the same people the whole time.
Right.
And I had just grown, like they just weren't, my people anymore. And so I went to an English program, but I regret that. Everything is, it worked out fine, I think, but I regret the language part. And so I'm always envious, other than English, when I hear people speaking languages other than English, and I don't have. So I would actually, even though it's late in life, I'd actually like to learn another language.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, brother.
Now, see, you seem skeptical. What he wants to say is, yeah, but you ain't going to do it. That's what he wanted to say. I can see people at home. But I can see the thought bubble above his head. He's like, yeah, but you ain't going to damn well do it. You just saying that for the
This
camera.
is a positive space, brother.
Brave, brave space.
Braver. I like both of those. And learning a new language stimulates our minds, something that we should be doing regardless of what age we are. My wife and I have had the dream of driving across Canada, driving down the coast, and then driving back across the United States. And the current U.S. government is making that difficult for us.
Right.
But that is that's part of our retirement, right? A dream that we have, to take our time and to be able to stop and enjoy both Canada and the United States.
I love it.
Any other quick hitters?
So
Moving on.
I'll throw this one out there. So who is a musician that's no longer with us that you, if you could go to a performance when they were in their prime, who would that musician be?
Well, we had this. It's only going to be a few people. I mean, how do you not say?
You know what? I'm going to say James Brown.
Okay.
Because at the highlight of his career, I would have loved to have been in the audience.
Right.
That energy.
Amongst that energy.
Oh, yeah.
And those folks, yeah.
Crazy. Those, well, I mean, a lot of his, clips, but those early highlights, because what he's doing, the thing is too, what he's doing at the time is new. Like he's not replicating anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's new. Like other people come after him and say, yeah, I got this from James Brown. I got that from James Brown. He's doing it live and in living color and it's new. And he like the dancing, the soul, actually you can't go wrong with that. I mean, I'll give it easy. Actually, I was going to say MJ, but I'll say Prince. Just his ability, just the singing, the dancing, the playing the instruments, the backup people. Prince had a lot of proteges, so I'm also thinking in terms of the performances, he bringing out all those people that were under him, Vanity and Apollonia, Morris Day, like Jude's favorite, Jesse Johnson, the Jesse Johnson review. You know what I'm saying? Russell don't know nothing about that. He's too young. He don't know nothing about none of that. But anyway, go ahead, brother.
No, I was like, it was MJ for me. Just like thinking about him in his prime, and as y'all know, like he would perform, like, you know what I mean? Like
right.
It was a show, so with the dancing and the things that he can do with his hat and just like he did a whole lot of different things while he was on that stage, and appealed to a lot of audiences. So I think it would have been dope to see him in his prime.
Right. Nice one.
Part of what we're talking about today is who we are and how we define ourselves. And blackness is something, one of the priorities for all of us in terms of identity. So can you share what or who has influenced you as a black man?
Ooh, great question.
Honestly, I would say it's a combination of many things. And for me, I would say going back to kind of the foundation where we were talking a lot about community, because that's always been one place where they've made it cool, you know, acceptable, you know, it's okay for you to just be, you know, unapologetically Black, you know, and just embrace it. And, you know, that's just really where it started for me. But then, you know, then we've showed up in other spaces and have really just made it okay to just be in a range of spaces and environments and do it in our own unique way, and
Right.
you know, making space for that. So to me, that's one thing that I really love and I see, and like it's opening the door for so many other people on so many different platforms and stages to do just dope things. So yeah.
I mean, my simple answer is everything, like almost everything, like not everything, but so many different things. So for me, influence, family, like broader family, but nuclear family. Obviously didn't realize and appreciate it as much, like a lot of things when you're younger. But the idea that mom and dad made sure that Blackness was represented, like in the house. So long before I know who or what Malcolm X is, there's pictures up in the house. Like there's pictures of King, there's pictures of Mahalia Jackson, there's pictures of like different, and I probably said this before, like because at the time, you know, we didn't have access to buy things like we do now. Like you can pretty much buy anything that you want. But back then you couldn't necessarily go to stores and buy Black figures or anything that represented sort of, you know, Black people, African people. And so Dad would paint things black, literally. Like he would paint things black.
DIY.
So he would just buy figurines and paint them black. So Santa Claus was black, and it became and all those things. So it became kind of like a running joke with people because he wasn't trying to get earth tones or nothing. Like it was like everything was just painted this color, but it was planting a sort of seed, right? And you know, and both of my parents are actually pretty conscious. So that foundation, and you know, Dad did that, and I'll say Mom was in, I gotta find this article. Mom was in Cosmopolitan years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to show you that article. She was in Cosmopolitan, and she was just talking about conscious stuff. Like she was talking about, you know, just kind of like honestly like Black Power stuff. To be honest, I don't think she used that word. I know, it's crazy, and I knew it and I forgot it. And then she gave me the article anyway. I have to show it to you guys sometime. But yeah, so that foundation is laid. And then as I get older, just the people I hung with, then I start listening to hip hop. I mean, I referenced Boogie Down Productions before. That becomes a thing that influences me. They're talking about things that I'm interested in. And then that just transitions into, okay, now I'm actually interested in history. Now I'm actually interested in Black people movements. And then that goes through high school. Then I become part of student groups, culture awareness youth group, doing that. Then I go to university, part of Black Canadian Student Society, Black United Students. So everything, there's a theme in terms of what happens. And then you connect to other people who's doing the work. So, you know, I feel like I've been fortunate enough to have been connected to all of those things throughout my life. And because I had a foundation when I was younger, it didn't seem unnatural to me. It always seemed like this is what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback on that a little bit and mention Black men in particular. I had a lot of fantastic mentors, a lot of individuals who have poured into me, supported me, encouraged me along my journey.
Right.
But Malik, something you do quite often is remind us that when we're looking into the past, that we have to be honest. And there were a lot of positive attributes that Black men demonstrated in my community, but there are a lot of things, a lot of behaviors that we witnessed or experienced that have shaped who I am as a Black man.
Right.
So, you know, we're still struggling with those, we're promoting these wellness programs and initiatives to support some of the shortcomings, idiosyncrasies, some of the beliefs
Right.
that continue to plague our community, men specifically. So, again, I've been blessed with some phenomenal men.
I love that.
Last question before we wrap up. What's something that you have pride in that you can reference in relation to Black men?
For me, I could say a few different things, but just like honestly, the thing that jumps to the forefront of my mind and thinking when you raise the question is just my lineage, like where I come from, the community that I'm tied to, East Preston,
Right.
you know, where my ancestors came from and what they've endured. So to me, that gives me a honestly like a huge sense of pride, and like it's something that even grows more and more as I get older. So I think that that's really dope. But that's where I'll go with that.
That's a great point, because if I know us, like we don't take like I think we all carry African Nova Scotian with pride. Like we take that title, like that's who we are, right? And that means so much. So I wasn't thinking about that until you said it, and I love the fact that you said it. For me, I would say pride. I've been thinking about this a lot. I heard somebody else say it like years ago, not in this way, but it made me reflect on it. Like I take pride in how we love, like how we love as Black men, like how we go, like we do things a lot of times hard, and love is one of the things that we love hard. Like when we love you, we love you.
Word.
Like, you know what I mean?
There's no halfway.
There's no halfway. Like when we got you, we got you.
Yep.
It's not phony. It's not disingenuous. Like it's real. And so, all them things we're doing and all these things that are going on, those are events, but I'm always watching like what happens like in the place. So, Jude, when I go to Apex tournament last weekend, and it ain't about golf for me. I ain't golfed a day in my life. But when you like hug people, and the way we women grab you and kiss you on your cheek and tell how are you doing, like what we do, like I love how we love. Like Russell, when we go to your sessions, like when we come in and we give the props and we give people like a strong hug and like that, like I take pride in that, man. Like we do that. I can't say that it's not up to me to say that it's unique, but I know that in our like as Black men, how we do that, it's a beautiful thing. So I take pride in that.
Yes. I'm going to say strength. But strength in the sense that there's resilience. And within that strength, there's faith. A belief that if we continue to do what we need to do, things will be all right. And I think that strength, that faith has sustained us, right? Through all the adversity that we've experienced. So I take great pride in what we've experienced and overcome. And the fact that we continue to remain optimistic about the future.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Something we can all take pride in.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
That's it, gentlemen. We did it.
Long overdue. Took us long enough to get here, but
Yeah, it did take you long to get here. I agree.
I'll deal with this off camera.
Hey, folks, that could be a threat. We could take that as a threat. If something happens to me, people out there, you heard it here. It's on tape.
Last thing before we leave. Let's share with our audience one thing that is elevating you in your personal life. And this is rapid fire.
Something that's elevating me, honestly, is just being able to be in spaces with other Black men and to be able to just share openly, to just normalize things that we haven't normalized, ever. And to be able to be a part of that, to me, is something that's elevating me, and I'm a part of watching it elevate others, which is super dope.
Agreed. Conversations I'm having with people lately, it's elevated me. I never told you, I had a great conversation with your wife.
He said rapid
last week.
fire.
See? You know what? Hey, Dion, I tried to give you a shout out. Let the record show. Russell, that was Russell. It cut you off. Tried to give you a shy sister. But yeah, the conversations. Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to say journaling. Journaling in the sense of putting some thoughts down, but also keeping me organized. Right. It's time to stay on track. So,
Love it.
thanks, gentlemen.
Yes,
We got our first in-person episode completed. Thank y'all for tuning in and joining us on this journey of wellness.
Black Adam behind the scenes.
Black Adam behind the scenes. Thank you for continuing to support us.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
See y'all next episode.
Peace.